Hi, I'm Dr. Chris. It's January, and like you, I've received a lot of mail about resolutions, making them, keeping them, improving on them. Just when I was about to send out my views on resolutions, I decided to start over and talk to you about the second stage of resolutions. This is the time when we are tempted to give up on them and return quietly to our same old life. I've been reading about the 2020 most popular resolutions, and I noticed that most of them have something to do with living a more meaningful life, a life of purpose. And I guess even wanting to exercise more is ultimately about living a life with more meaning. People have asked me, how have I changed so much over my life? Apparently, I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago, or even 1 year ago. Thank God. There's so much hype about change, though, that I want to share with you the 3 things that I know to be true, the 3 things I know for sure that have helped me change and live a life of more purpose. This is the first thing I know to be true. I used to think that change had to be big and immediate and really noticeable, or it didn't really count. And voices in my head would judge me and criticize me, say things like, well, I thought you were going to do more than that. Now I go about changing differently. I believe in changing just a little bit at a time, but all the time. This doesn't mean that I want change any less. I just do it differently. So try putting your resolutions in this context by changing a little bit at a time rather than trying to do it all and failing. And this helps us live in the moment instead of in the future or in our imagination. Here's the second thing I know to be true. Before I plan what I want to do with my life, I need to understand and pay attention to who I am, who I've been created to be in life. Try putting your resolutions in this context. When you know who you are, you will better know what to do. This is a little bit like going on a treasure hunt. And like any treasure hunts, there might be some false clues. And there's probably going to be a little bit of dirt that you need to uncover in order to find yourself. But this treasure is real. It is worth the hunt. We don't need to depend on makeovers out there because our true treasure resides inside. So I want you to think of this resolution process, your commitments, your goals, whatever you want to call them, as kind of on a big map. And then find that on that map, that star symbol, the one that says you are here. But for our purposes, this isn't where you are. This is who you are. Who are you created to be? We've all been created with goodness and kindness, with the ability, the capacity to connect with ourselves, to love ourselves and others. And we all have unique strengths. Maybe you have the strength of being a teacher or an encourager. Maybe you're a leader. Maybe you are quietly building things or building people. When we bring our strengths to whatever we want to do, we are bringing ourselves to whatever we need to do. We don't have to be what other people tell us to be. We need to be who we are created to be, and your resolutions will come to pass. And here's the third thing I know to be true. Any kind of change depends on support. We need support over and under and all around it. I'm not meant to go through this life alone, and either are you. So get with a formal or an informal group of friends. Get a therapist, join a coffee club, any like-minded group of people who can support you being who you are meant to be, who can help you understand the story of your life. My favorite story about my husband is the way he supports me. I asked him, well, maybe you've heard this one, but I've asked him, so I'm kind of high maintenance, aren't I? And he said, yes. We laughed for just a second, and he said, do you know why you love me? I was curious because he doesn't talk my touchy-feely language too often. But what he said opened up my eyes and my heart to understanding how absolutely essential support is to a life of change, a life of purpose. He said, you're like a bird, and you love to fly out and about, and I keep the window open. I help you fly. Wow. Who is keeping the window open in your life? Who is helping you fly? Change can be inconvenient. It can be unexpected. But if we go through life trying to fix ourselves, it can be annoying and frustrating and downright toxic. Sometimes change can be scheduled. Sometimes it happens every January. Sometimes we have to start over again every Monday morning. But what matters is that we keep starting over. I've lived through some of life's most vulnerable experiences, the kind that want to destroy physical and spiritual life. And maybe that's why I am continually and gradually pursuing a life of purpose. What matters is that we find open minds, open hearts, open windows. And we join with people who can support us being who we are meant to be, one day at a time. So today, keep hoping, and tomorrow, keep trying and keep flying, one day at a time.